So we've installed LSPDFR, we've installed plugins, we've installed callouts, but we want vehicles. Now, we can't just jump straight into that and have vehicles here, there and everywhere, but there is a little bit of an easier process to keep everything organised and in one place. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another LSPDFR video, and today I'm going to be going through how to install modding DLC pack 5 for GTA 5. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to download some software called OpenIV. So Google or type in OpenIV.com and enter, and we want to download OpenIV. And what OpenIV does is, if it comes up here, it's not commonly downloaded and may be dangerous, you can allow it and keep it, it's just a false positive. So once that is downloaded, what you want to do then is run the installer. And what OpenIV does is it allows us to modify Grand Theft Auto 5 files, it allows us to give support for a mods folder, and edit and use modified RPF files. The RPF files is where our vehicles will be installed. So read through the EULA agreement, and once you've done that, accept the terms, continue. I normally leave this the same, but this is where OpenIV will install itself. Click continue. Do you want to continue? Click yes, and that will then download and install OpenIV. And then once that's installed, we can close the installer, and then we can just move that there. You'll be left with an icon like this up here called OpenIV. Double click on there, and you'll want to go to Grand Theft Auto 5 Windows, and it will ask you to locate your Grand Theft Auto 5 folder. So for me, mine is in D, Steam Library, Steam Apps Common, but for others it could potentially be in C, Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps Common. And what we want to do is we just want to highlight it and click the folder once, and then select folder. That will then check to make sure that OpenIV is compatible with your current version of the game. Click continue. Do not forget to back up original files before editing. If you do not back up your files and you modify a file and it breaks, you will need to reinstall the game, and we all know how long that can be, so make sure to back up your files before making any changes whatsoever. So once you've done that, click continue. It will search for your game's encryption key to make sure you are running a legal, genuine copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, because piracy is not the way to go. Okay? It's not. So once that's done, it will load up OpenIV. You can choose to play the video if you wish. If not, just click no thanks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this little icon here, the little checkbox called the ASI Manager, and you'll be presented with 3 blue boxes here. What you want to do is you will want to install ASI Loader and OpenIV.asi. And what this does is it allows us to install other .asi files. It allows us to create and support a mods folder to allow us to run modified RPF files. So once that's done, click close, and then for the time being we can just close OpenIV. Now the way I work with modified vehicles is I use a pack called Modding DLC Pack 5. And what this does is it allows us to keep all of our add-on vehicles and weapons and PED related stuff in one place, so we don't have to go into a multitude of different folders. So what you want to do is you want to go to Google. Other search engines don't always bring the correct results up first time, so you want to type in modding DLC pack 5 and then look for the one from LSPDFR.com. that's the one I always download. And then from here we want to download this file. It'll say thank you for downloading, and just make sure you save it to a place that you're going to remember. So save it to the desktop, that's where I save it to. Next we need to download 3 more additional files. First of all, we need to download a game config. So if you just Google GTA 5 game config, It'll be this one here. The version number may change depending upon the version of the game. But what this does is it allows us to work with the traffic density, add more or less traffic, more or less pedestrians, but it also means that we can add in more vehicles without the game coming to a crash. So we'll download that and save it to the desktop, and then if we go back and have a look at the description here, it will tell us that we need to download the heap adjuster and pack file limit adjuster. So we're going to copy that URL and paste, and then we're just going to download this here. And these two files, they just mean, or they just help in reducing crashes later on down the line. So again, just download both of those files to your desktop, like so. Now once all they have downloaded, you can close out of Chrome. You want to find pack file limit adjuster, open up the file, open, and you will see 3 files. In the pack file limit adjuster, we only need the .asi and .ini file, and we want to drag them into our Grand Theft Auto 5 main folder. So again, for me it's Steam Library, Steam Apps Common, GTA 5. For others it could be C, program files like x86, Steam, Steam Apps Common, Grand Theft Auto 5. Once you got that up, just drag and drop .asi and .ini into your GTA 5 main folder. If you haven't got it installed already, it will just drag them over and you won't see this box here. And then that is our pack file limit adjuster installed, so we can get rid of that. Next, you want to find your heap adjuster, and it's the same process. We open up the file, drag .asi and .ini into GTA 5 main folder. And again, if you have them installed already, it will just drag the files over, you won't see this box here. And then once that's done, we can close the heap adjuster file and we can clear that from the desktop, because again, we no longer need that. So what you want to do next is you want to close or minimize your GTA 5 main folder, and you will want to open modding DLC pack 5 1.2. And inside here, you have an OIV file called modding DLC pack.oiv. Drag and drop that to your desktop, and then close modding DLC pack v 1.2, and we can just clear that out of the way. Now the modding DLC pack 5.oiv that we've just taken to our desktop, we want to rename that file, but all we're going to do is remove .oiv and change it to .zip. Click on yes, and that will now allow us to modify a file inside of here. So open up that file, open up the folder called content, common, and you'll see a file called gameconfig.xml. Delete it. Delete it, get rid of it. You do not want that file. Why? Because that is an old game config file for a very outdated version of GTA. If we were to leave that file in, it would mean that when we install modding DLC pack 5 later on, it will crash GTA 5 completely and you will not be able to play the game. And we don't want that. So, do you remember that game config file that we downloaded a short while ago? What we want to do is we want to open up that config file, and you'll see 3 files: backup, GTA 5 config, and older versions. Click on GTA 5 config. You get 2 options for more or less mods. We didn't go for more mods because why not? Well, the actual reason is because I have a few mods running at the moment. And then you can choose between 0.1 traffic and peds, half traffic and peds, 1.5 times 2.5, 2, 3.5, 3, 4.5, 4 and 5 times traffic or peds. We're going to go with the stock version, so the base GTA 5. And then inside there, you'll see a game config file. Drag that into modding DLC pack 5 that we have here. And then once that's done, we can close both of these. And we want to then rename modding DLC pack 5 to well, we're going to keep the same name. We're just going to add the extension .oiv. And that will allow us to install it through OpenIV. So what you want to do is you want to go to OpenIV, Grand Theft Auto 5 Windows, and let that boot up. Now once that is booted up, you want to select the box here with the pretty red, green and blue colours. And you want to find the .oiv file that we've just renamed, double click on it, and it will bring up this mini installer. Then from here, press install, always install in your mods folder. If you install it into your game folder and something goes wrong and you don't have a backup, you will be reinstalling your entire game and starting from scratch. So select your mods folder, and that way if anything goes wrong, we can come back and rectify it later on without worrying that we've damaged the base game files. So mods, install, and that will then install Modding DLC Pack 5 into your GTA 5 folder. And then once that is installed, click on close. And that is it. That is how you install Modding DLC Pack 5. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave us a thumb up rating. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to help you out. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Peace.